Hey guys, welcome to Movies with Ari. I'm Ari and I'm so excited to review Halo 4 Forward Unto Dawn. So let's get into it. So Forward Unto Dawn is all about this character named Thomas Lasky. He is a freshman cadet at Corby Academy of Military Science, and they're training to fight insurrectionists. So a little backstory before we get started. The insurrectionists are rebels that the UNSC are supposed to be fighting. However, in the movie, the insurrectionists are fighting alongside the UNSC. So this is a big deal because this whole movie takes place after Harvest. So it's right at the beginning of the Human Covenant War. And these soldiers don't really know what they're up against. They think they're going after the insurrectionists, when in reality, they need to be preparing to fight for the Human Covenant War, which is with the elites, the Sangheili race, and all that. The reason why they don't know about Harvest yet is because Harvest has been hush-hush by the government. It's been a top secret thing that happened. So not many people know about it, only the people that really took place in Harvest know about it. So these cadets have no idea what happened during Harvest, what's going on. So they don't really know about the Human Covenant War yet, which is soon to come. And in their minds, the insurrectionists, which are these rebels that was prior to the invasion, are what they should be taken care of. But the insurrectionists, the Spartans and all that are working together, and they're protecting, so say, the enemy, because there's something bigger and badder to fight at this point. So it begins with scenes from Halo 4. So in Halo 4 at the beginning, if you remember in the last, or if you've played any of the games, he went to sleep. In Halo 3, he went to cryosleep, and in Halo 4, he was reawoken by Cortana because she had said, "Wake me when you need me." Well, I need you. And so she woke him because now there's something new to fight. There's something bigger to come. And I think that was a really nice tie-in to the movie, because in the beginning you really don't understand why they're showing that, because at first it doesn't seem like it has any point, but it actually does. It's actually really important, because this is all dealing with the Infinity, and they're currently on the Infinity at that point. So that's how the movie opens up, is Cortana trying to wake John, and then we're shot to an older man who is listening to a recording of this Mayday. This is the UNSC FFG 201 Forward Unto Dawn, requesting immediate evac. And there's survivors aboard, which eventually says that it's John 117, which is Master Chief. And he replays the recording, and it's shot back to him younger, which is Thomas Lasky. So Thomas Lasky is, as a cadet, was one that ignored orders. Even kind of now in his older life, he kind of does the same stuff, but he ignores orders of like upper command, and he kind of like follows his own moral compass and what he believes is right, not what he thinks orders are correct in that sense. So he tends to make decisions based on his own judgment. And he also doesn't believe in like mindless violence if it doesn't need to happen. But he also has like anti-UNSC views. So he, as a cadet, he has heavy anti-UNSC views, and doesn't see the need to fight if it can be talked out or whatever the case is. He just doesn't want to be part of mindless violence, essentially. As time goes on, we learn that he's dealing with the death of his brother, Cadman Lasky. And he was sent to the academy, and his brother kind of always believed in him, thinking he would, do what was right and would be a good soldier. And Lasky struggles with his death and trying to become who he needs to become. He's technically seen as a weakling in the Academy's view. He doesn't have the strengths of a typical soldier, or what a typical soldier for the UNSC seems like. And so for Lasky, he has to work a lot harder to earn what he tries to do. We also learn, due to the mandatory acclimation of cryosleep, that he suffers from large blisters and a persistent cough. So Lasky doesn't do well in cryosleep. So after his second examination, it's revealed that his condition is an allergic reaction to the cryo drug cytobreathanine. Cytobreathanine is a vital thing for cryosleep. It's to prevent damaging to the cells. So when you go into cryosleep, your cells are okay when you come out of it. So this is supposed to help with that. So if you have an allergic reaction to the cytobreathanine, then you're going to struggle every time you go in and out of cryosleep. So his body actually doesn't handle cryosleep, and he ends up getting these blisters and he ends up getting sick. So he really struggles a lot with that, which isn't good because you need to go into cryosleep. This is part of the mandatory training for a cadet, so that way later on in life you can be in cryosleep and you can get used to it. So due to the medical report, he is actually unfit for service and is given the option of a medical discharge. This is a big thing because if he does take that, then he's no longer part of the war. And I think for Lasky, at this point, he's debating whether he wants to be a soldier or he just wants to be a civilian. What part of his life does he want to take? And I think it's hard for Lasky to make that kind of decision because he doesn't see himself as a soldier. So as I said, like in the beginning, he's seen as kind of like the oddball, this weak character. But however, throughout the movie, he demonstrates his strengths and that he is this good soldier. It's not about glory or this kind of stuff for Lasky. It's about demonstrating what is right more than what the political aspect is for the government or things like that. He doesn't see it as that, and I think that's why he disobeys orders, because he feels that if the orders don't make sense, then why would you follow it? But it actually makes him, in some type of the UNSC views, it does make him a good soldier, and you'll see that throughout. Especially because Master Chief is the same way. Master Chief doesn't always follow the same orders. He kind of goes with what he believes in, what he thinks is right, because he's not going to follow mindless orders that don't make any sense. And you see that Master Chief is a good soldier. So after finding out about his condition, the allergic reaction to the cytobreathanine, the base is attacked by the Covenant. And up until then, again, they had no idea they were fighting these things. They just thought they were fighting the insurrectionists. So during the battle, Master Chief saves the 5 of them, which was Kyla Silver, April Lorinsky, Vickers, Thomas Lasky, and Sully. And after finding out that they are only the last 5 alive on the planet, everyone else has been wiped out by the Covenant. So this is a big thing, that the Covenant just invade the way they do. Now, if you played Halo or watched any of the movies or know the lore of Halo, then you know who Commander Lasky is. Lasky is the commander of the UNSC Infinity, which is the most powerful vessel in the entire fleet. Lasky is also one of the very few non-Spartans that actually have a close personal relationship with Master Chief. Master Chief doesn't have many personal relationships, and there's a lot of reasons why, and you can tell, but he's one of the very few that they actually have a really close bond. And the nice thing about this movie, I think, is it shows an origin story of who Thomas Lasky was and how he met Chief, which led to their friendship and bond that they have today, which I think is pretty cool. I think due to his personal connection to Chief, it inspired Lasky to become the soldier he really needed to be. Now, I will say, Halo, I'm an avid gamer. I mean, I play Destiny, I play Halo, I play Tomb Raider. I really love gaming, and I love these movies, but I have to be honest in my rating from a filmmaker standpoint, because I am also a filmmaker, and also from a video game standpoint. as a video game standpoint, I think this was a really great movie. I think it's fabulous in the way they told the story and how they explained the origin story of Thomas Lasky. However, as a filmmaker, I'm going to be a little more critical because with filmmaking, they did really, really well, but I have to rate this a 3.75, which is a little lower than my normal ones. And the only reason why is mainly because of the graphics. The graphics, and granted, they had a low budget. It wasn't a big budget movie, of course, which is fine. It was a TV show or episodes turned into a full-length movie, which turned out really great. But there's parts of it that I think could have been better in the graphic standpoint, especially when they're fighting the war in the end, when the Covenant invade the base, that I think there just could have been better parts to it. Now, the Hunter looked really good. The Invisible Elite they had, looked really good. It did, but you can also tell from a film standpoint that it lacks some of the graphic design that it needed, I think, or the effects that it needed. And that's okay. That's the way filmmaking is. So I'm going to be a little harsher on that just from that standpoint. But apart from that and the lighting and the way it was shot, I think it was done beautifully. Honestly, I wouldn't have changed really much out of this just because I think it's a good origin story to Lasky and Lasky knowing Chief and where he started to how he got into the command he's in. So I think it's a very interesting concept. Halo is very close to my heart because it was my first person shooter game I ever played. So I think there's just things that just could have been done better, but I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I will say if you are an avid gamer and you love Halo, I think this is definitely a movie for you. But if you are not like me, who's a gamer, then I think it's going to be not so much meant for you. It's not because it's against you. It's just because this is really fit more to a fan base than to everybody. Where looking at like Arrival or things like that, it's kind of made for everyone. Where I felt like this was meant for the fans of Halo, which is not a bad thing, but I think it's going to get more criticized given that it's more of a fan movie than something for all. So it's a little harder, but the nice thing about this is considered actual lore, and I think it was well done for what they set out to do, and the cast was impeccable, I think. I don't think you could have casted it better. I don't really think you could have done much better besides the effects and the graphics, but that's just my personal opinion on a filmmaker. I just feel like things just could have been better in the sense of like the weapons looked really good, but again could have been just more realistic, like even the way the hunters move or the way the elites move. Just certain things could have been done better, like a little more graphics on the elite, just little things like that I think could have just been better. Same with all the other guns, from like the elite guns, like plasma grenade to the needler. I think they all could have just been a little more graphic-wise better. But other than that, I think it's a really good movie. And I really, really did enjoy it. So what did you guys think about this movie? Did you like it as much as I did? Did you like it less than I did? Did you like it more than I did? Let me know down in the comments below. And please let me know down in the comments below if there's any other movies or TV shows that you would like me to be reviewing for you guys. And as always, see you on the next one, guys.